Philosophy is to hypothetically think. There's a two big difference. So, like this is a rose flower, are you making a philosophy that there is a rose flower, or you are seeing that it is a rose flower? That's a difference. But if I say, no, this is a lotus, or I say, no, it's a black rose, a white rose, or this is a magnolia, or this is a daffodil, any name, and I say, no, then you will maybe have to imagine or use your craziness of the mind to say, okay, this is not it seems and looks like a red rose, but if Gurumaa is saying it's a lotus, maybe it is a lotus and we can't see it, so maybe it is a lotus. Now when the maybe comes in, that's what philosophy is. It's just maybe. But we don't have word philosophy equated with word darshan. Darshan is to see. You have a female body, you see it, you know it. You have a male body, you know it, you see it. There is nothing to philosophize about it. It's not a projection, it's your reality, physical reality. So similarly, the physical reality is observable, seeable, perceivable, understandable. And the reality of your own true self is something which the mind has to explore and know. And yet there is nobody on this earth who will say, I don't exist. Can anybody say this? I don't exist. Even if somebody repeats this statement that I don't exist, the one who is saying this is existing. So nobody can say, I don't, you can't speak and say, I am dumb. How can you be dumb? You are speaking. Nobody can say, while speaking, I am mute. I don't have any tongue in my mouth. Not believable. Not believable at all. So the reality is we can debate and discuss whether God exists or not exists, and you can be an atheist or theist or antagonist, but nobody can say, I don't exist. Can anyone say that I don't exist? Yes, you do exist. And that is whole Vedanta, is to explore what is your reality. Are you just a body, just a mind, just the emotions, just the desires, just the dreams, or something else? Or are you who is witnessing all these activities which are happening in the mind, body, senses and your subconscious? So Vedanta hits the bullseye. No room for belief system. No room for you have to do this and then this will happen. No. It's all about revelation. It's all about exploration. So once you have explored it, see, the physical appearance is very, very evident to everybody. Everybody knows I have a body. I'm a male, I'm a female, I'm tall, dark, fat, slim, Caucasian or Asian or Chinese or Indian or Russian. You know that from the features. From the features, the race can be labeled that this person is coming from this and this race or this and this country. The bodies are all different. But if I say about the mind, can you label an Indian mind and Brazilian mind and Chinese mind and Russian mind? And see all the minds think, feel, emote, express, want, desire, similar. So you might be theist or atheist, but each and all one of us are common universally on that one point. And the point is, we all want to have joy. And we all don't want any misery. Agree? Talk to an uneducated laborer. Talk to a criminal. Talk to a politician. Talk to a devout religious person. Talk to a communist. What will be the answer? Do they want joy? Yes. And they don't want any misery? Yes. So, we move from body to the level of the mind, and that is what all yoga is, especially the Patanjali Yoga Sutra, about what mind is, how it functions, what are the levels of the mind. And as you have seen yesterday, we have released the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, my commentary in Hindi language and in English language simultaneously together. Beautiful books have come out, and this was my very keen desire that I spoke in Hindi because my audience was in the Hindi language, but I simultaneously got it translated into English because there was a big vacuum for an extensive and logical explanation on Patanjali Yoga Sutras. I had this thing, this drive was there. I have to bring this to all people. The language should not be a barrier for anybody. I have to make it available to everybody because that's the birthright of every human being, that one should know what the mind is, how the mind functions. Once the mind is understood, and then actually the Vedanta begins, and then you move into the realm of your own identity, your own existence, your own self. The difficulty in understanding concept of Vedanta can be only then when you don't have sufficient dispassion. Your mind is too broken and scattered and running after things, people, money, love, joy, this, that. Too many disturbances. I'm not saying that it is meant only for monks. No. But there has to be a quality of mind to understand it. So it's just like cultivating a mind in such a way that you are to that optimum level, maybe close to that, the best you can, so that what I am speaking, you can relate to it, and you, acha, even now what I am speaking, am I speaking too difficult that you can't understand? Because I am talking about you. I am at the moment omitting the Sanskrit sutras and I am not quoting from any scripture. But what I am speaking is a scripture. Just making it easy for people like you and all the others who have English as their first language. I can speak fair enough English, and yet when the question of Yoga Nidra came up, I had to learn Spanish. So I gave some 2 months to learn Española and mastered the language which was required for me. And one of my disciples, Diana Pizarro, she's from South America, so she translated in English to the language Spanish, and after all the checks done, and then here in this ashram only we have a studio, so I dubbed my Spanish Yoga Nidra over here. Why? Because for Yoga Nidra this was important that the person does this in the language which is his or her mother language. Because to make an access to the subconscious, for example, now if your mother tongue is Portuguese, so you can speak English, you are speaking to me, I don't know a word of Portuguese, but you're speaking nice English, but if Isabella gets angry, really angry, Would she speak in English or Portuguese then? Right? What about you, Bipula? When you get very angry, then not in Czech? No? You know how to speak Czech language? Say one word. What does that mean? So if the mother's tongue is English or Portuguese or, then you are most comfortable when your mind is in a rage or is in lust. Your mother tongue will easily come to your, just this switch will happen. Because your mother tongue is in your subconscious. Right? This switch just happens. So for the Yoga Nidra it was important that because Diana English was okay. She met me in Florida. She works in a court, and but the fluency was in Spanish. Now the South American Spanish is different from the Spain Spanish. The Brazilians, they have a bit different, and the region-wise some colors come. There comes a difference. But I tried to do the best what I could. Reason being, those who speak Spanish, when they will do Yoga Nidra in Spanish, they will have a wonderful experience. If they do in English, then their mind will be too busy in translating what it is. And the whole objective of silencing your prefrontal brain won't happen. So the active thinking has to be stopped. And surrendering to my voice is very, very important. So that the trust and the faith of leaning to the instructions and following it as it is being said is very important. So for Patanjali Yoga Sutras, this was the idea right in the beginning. And that's what I'm now doing with all the Vedanta scriptures also. If I speak on Vedanta Sar, Atma Bodh, Drigdrishya Vivek, and whatnot, so many long list of the scriptures which I have done. Simultaneously we are getting it translated and published. Because I don't wish to waste time with external publishing houses. That's a nonsense. And we do it in the way we find it more comfortable. And Patanjali Yoga Sutra was 80th book. Approximately they are saying. So maybe 79 or maybe 80, whatever the number is. So I love books, so I love to, get the things into. So coming back to your point, once the realization has happened that this flower is a magnolia, then you don't have to do anything to assert that it is a magnolia. It is, it chapter closed. Similarly, the day this sharp, definitive affirmation comes, I am Satchitananda, I am a Brahma, chapter is totally closed. What is left is the drama of the physical life and some of the karmas which are still going to give your fruits, the prarabdha, which was the reason for the body to happen. And maybe few more bodies doesn't matter at all, because if I am not body, then even now I am birthless. So how does it matter whether there is a body or there is a no body, or there is a life or there is a no life? So this awakening, existential understanding, not intellectual understanding, is required. That rolls the ball. And once the awakening has happened, then what do? You just do what you want to do. So I was always into this teaching, so teaching, sharing and celebrating. So we create excuses in this ashram to celebrate. Okay, what's next? We finish one, then okay, what's next? Right? And I just received my tickets to Maharashtra, Nagpur. I'll be leaving for that city to have 3-day discourses in Nagpur. And every month there is a program. And when I come back, we have Diwali, the festival of lights. And then we have Guru Nanak Dev birthday, the founder of Sikh religion. And then followed by one visit to Gujarat. Satsang will be in Surat, a beautiful city. And then our annual winter meditational retreat in Rishikesh, which, well, let's count. It started, I started the Shibir, 1992 was the first one. So how many years? 31 years of... Oh, sagan pad gaya. Oh, this year 31 is very auspicious. It is considered very auspicious. And so this will be 31st anniversary then of Rishikesh Shibir. Oh, get ready. 31 years, oh my God. I was joking, yesterday. Did you see the documentary? So in that documentary, in some of the clips, I had a belly full laughter. I said, it is a baby Guruji. Baby Guruji, because 24 years old in that particular video. And Hari Milan has some of the photographs in which this body is 16 years old. So I'm 16 years old and a lot of, these garlands in that was the last day in the temple, my first satsang. Last day, they brought a photographer specially to get the photo clicked. And now it is a historical picture. Historical picture, because that year was 1983. Calculation. 40 years ago. Oh my God. See, 40 years ago was the first public bigger satsang. Before that were like smaller in the houses, in the rooms. So what does a Gyani do? Whatever Gyani feels like, whatever Gyani's prarabdha is, destiny is. So Arjuna was a fighter, he kept on fighting. Vashishta was a teacher, kept on teaching. And Rishi Vashishta was a priest to kings, so he kept on doing that work. Yagvalkya was a teacher, a principal of a Gurukul, a Vedic school. He kept on doing that. And so the Vedanta doesn't stop you from doing anything.